Hi.
Yay!
Hello!
Hello everyone out
Hi
there
everyone
in Twitchland.
in Twitchland.
And on YouTube when you're watching this
Oh, is
video
it called
later.
Twitchland? Is it called YouTubeville's? Oh,
It is a little bit like that. Hang on, we got to just.
what are we going to do? What's wrong?
The camera got
adjustment.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Yay. We theoretically have a proper recording set up which is going to help us to broadcast our videos far more easily, and we've been going through a period of fewer releases, but now we have a setup that means we just go straight onto Twitch, which we can rip the video off, and even to disc as well, which is super cool, and upload to YouTube and make it all happen really well.
Isn't that weird? Rip the video off has changed meaning.
Yeah, yeah. Ripping being kind of a technical term.
Being a burn. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. We're playing Red Hand of Doom, which, as I said on the fantastically coherent YouTube video announcing this broadcast.
Once this is finished.
This is a module that I played years ago. John is the only current Dice Storm who was part of that group, and after much discussion we've decided that he's fine to give it another play, which is super cool.
Except he's not here.
He's not here anyway, so that's right. It was written by Rich Baker, who's obviously a legend, and James Jacobs, who's amazing. James Jacobs was a hero of mine because my love of the way this adventure is structured and written. And a few Gen Cons ago, Sirenscape was kind of sort of wedged into an interview situation by happening to be going along with James Jacobs. And I found myself standing next to him and said, oh my god, oh wow, I love your work, And he's like, I'm just a guy.
Like, chill out.
Just chill out.
Yeah, chill out, dude.
And I really hardly ever geek out about people. But I did about him, and he's a really good friend now, which is really, really fantastic. Amazing creative guy. And he's just slightly annoyed because I keep saying, when are you going to write another module like that? Because I really like it. Yeah.
All your other stuff hasn't been as good as
That's
that.
right.
Whoa.
Wow.
Somebody's
Fighting words.
Yeah. You may notice that the top two sound sets, the first two sound sets ever made for Sirenscape, and are still the top two free ones. Oh, there's 8 free sound sets in Sirenscape. But anyway, 2 of them are Witchwood and Brindletown, which are named after places in this adventure, which is super cool.
So will we hear them?
You will, if you go to either of those 2 places.
Well, I think we probably can.
Going to places.
We're going places.
Yeah, cool. The adventure's set in the Elsevier Vale, at which you can see a sort of overview map of the moment. It's summer. Summers are hot and dry. Days punctuated by hot and dryness, with the occasional intense thunderstorm.
Well,
Hot and dryness.
That's right. With the occasional intense thunderstorm. Winters are warm and rainy. Large stretches of this vale are sort of arid. It's flanked by vast savannas on the other side of these big mountain ranges you can see. Sometimes the forests reach a stifling heat in summer.
Right.
Civilization-ness is further and further and further that way, to the east. Exoticness is kind of to the west. And it runs along a trade route, a once prosperous trade route. You can see the Dawn Way, which
No, that's not the doorway.
which splits here into the Dwarf Road, which has kind of been abandoned because it goes through the Crystal Mist Mountains, which are kind of semi-overrun by bugbear and goblin and hobgoblin tribes, which war amongst themselves. The Old North Road goes off to the norther, and if you want to sort of get to the far west, you need to either skirt the mountains to the south here, which is kind of risky, or skirt the mountains here to the north. What else do you need to know? Big towns. So Brindle is a pretty big town.
on this map. Where is it? Is it on this map?
Brindle's not on this map. Last time we were on this map, we couldn't find Brindle.
Okay, so Middleburg is Brindle. So this map has actually been adjusted to fit into another campaign. Cool. So there's rules at the beginning of the book about if you want to fit it into something else. That's super cool. I'd never noticed that before. Okay.
So this is Brindle.
That's Brindle, yeah.
What are we going to call it for this adventure?
Brindle.
Not Middleburg.
No.
Not going to confuse
If you
us.
read
That's
the word
right.
Middleburg, you should
Yeah, I suppose so.
read it as Brindle.
it's-
The M is a B.
Well, that's right. It's called Brindle in here, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. that's a tiny little overview of the Elsia Vale. You can see there's different types of sort of grasslands. The little slashy bits. See the slashy bits that are going around Brindleberg. That's
Yes.
basically
Fields.
farms and
Farm,
fields
yep.
and tilled fields and things like that. It's all pretty safe over in that part of the Elsia Vale. The further you go, that's right. The further you go west, then you're sort of running out of
Let's go back to the map.
civilization.
There you go. Where is it?
Yep, that's sort of safe. It's big sort of civilization-ish there. But keeping the trade routes open to the northwest is kind of important. That's right.
And that red road is like the main.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's the Dawn Way, which then turns into the old North Road and the Dwarf Road.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But we'll learn much more about the Elsia Vale as we go along through the adventure. Let's introduce our characters first.
Starting with Johnny.
Starting with Johnny.
It's just moving on me and it's killing me
It's twisting.
slightly.
That's funny.
But there you go.
Johnny.
Yes. Well, I will be playing Fagrin. Fagrin is a human wizard. What else would you like to know? It's a very brief.
Could I please have some additional
That's
information?
very red box, that kind of
It is.
introduction.
So you can.
What? And
I don't know how much to give away at this
That's
point.
right.
I'm
Yeah,
wearing
yeah.
a
There is-
hat.
There I am. There's plenty of backstory. I just don't want to share all of it.
Yeah.
And so then I just kind
That's
of
right,
went,
you-
I won't share anything, but I better say something.
You can share it with the other some other people you might meet, I suppose. Yeah. What else can you tell?
Well, player knowledge is not character knowledge.
That's right. Fagrin is living in
Fagrin lives in
Ferry.
Drellin's Ferry and has for a little while. And works as an undertaker in the village, in the cemetery.
Well, are you known as a wise man or?
I'm an outsider. I've only been living there for a few years. So that's probably how people think of me when they think of me.
It's like we'd wave at you, but like not maybe engage in.
Well,
more
generally, if you're the
conversation.
Undertaker, when they think of you, it's too late.
I think being a newcomer to the town and an undertaker combined together, and a bit of a sort of reclusive, keep to yourself sort of.
I don't imagine a person who's going to be an undertaker is going to be one of those like.
A strange old man moves
Yeah.
into your town
Yeah.
and then starts working as an undertaker.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna
Will
do?
you become friends with him? Probably not.
That's
No.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
gonna
That's
And have
correct.
you have
That's
you been
probably not,
befriended
isn't
and helped by that cleric?
it?
Oh,
Kind
I'm
of
about
the
to say
theory.
he would be a
Yeah.
person you would have a partnership
Yeah,
with.
that's right.
So, I should know his name.
Yeah, so
Profit
you
share.
research that a little bit.
What's his name? Brother Durney,
Brother
the
Durney.
town priest.
Yeah.
Is there?
He's kind of taken me in.
Can I ask a question on gravekeeping?
No.
Are you the only one, or is there competition? Like,
You can find that out later, I suppose. Okay. Murray.
I am Milestone, who is a dragonborn, a gold dragonborn, oath of devotion paladin.
What does Oath of Devotion mean?
I am basically devoted to protecting my companions and my dedication to righting a great wrong that was done once upon a time by the gold dragon who is my ancestor. So
A gold dragon did a great wrong.
yes,
Oh,
well, so I believe.
yeah.
So
Yeah, cool.
I am devoted to righting that wrong, whatever it takes, whoever it takes to join me.
And you're currently on the road.
I
the
was
Old North
praying.
Road.
I was praying at my shrine, and the god spoke to me, saying, "Travel south to the ruined keep in the Witch's Garden. There you shall find a tool to serve good, and good companions with whom to serve."
ooh.
So I have faithfully followed those instructions.
So you're coming down the old
I am
North Road,
coming. Yes, I'm
as your
marching
miniature
south.
suggests.
As my miniature
That's
suggests.
right.
Your dragonborn miniature, right?
Currently, the miniature is suggestive of a
It's-
dragon.
it's
Lord.
more of a-
Not-
more of a-
Sweeping, you have
More
sweeping
of a
horns.
representative of a dragonborn.
Yes,
right.
yes. He's still drying on the painting desk, so,
So it
we'll
is-
see him next time.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow. That's so
cool. So you come out of the mountains from the north, which
Yes.
were lovely and sort of coolish, and you've come onto this open plain. To the east, it enters marshlands and insects and heat and humidity, eventually falling into this vast lake which you've caught sort of various different angles of. And the lake is kind of warm and still and not particularly deep.
Right.
and you're basically just grasslands and grasslands and grasslands. You can see the scale there. You can, if you walk and walk and walk and walk and walk, you can generally pick up about sort of 30 miles in a day.
Yep. So it would take a whole day to walk the length of the lake.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe
Yeah.
slightly longer even.
Slightly longer.
So huge. Do you like the heat?
Oh yeah, I'm resistant to fire, so I think
Yeah.
anything hot
so
is
you don't
fine
mind
for
the
me.
heat, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing for you.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
it's, and luckily because I wear plate mail, so
Yeah,
got to get used to that.
yeah, that's right. So what is a Dragonborn actually has draconic features to quite a large extent?
Draconic,
don't they?
yeah, quite lizard-like appearance, but humanoid in shape. So
Yeah.
arms and legs, but gold scales all over them, and quite a serpentine. head.
Do you actually have a natural armor class bonus or anything like that?
I don't. Probably.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think any of the playable races have an armor class bonus.
So the appearance doesn't have
no.
a thickened hide, as it were. Yeah.
No, I don't think there is. But I will read up now whilst we hear from
Yes.
Natan.
Natan.
Nathan.
That's so much better than my original nickname, which was No Fun.
Oh.
So it's just like
Nathan, no.
not very nice thing to say.
No.
Okay, cool. So I am playing Menu, who is an elvish-born owl-riding druid, because so Manu, basically, the brief summary of him is that kind of like he was the enthusiastic one.
So you don't need to tell any of this, really.
I can give you just a summary. I am a person who stuffed up and I'm kind of on a different point in my life now. And I got a sick little owl pet who's like the best thing in the world, and who haven't decided what the name is yet. Maybe Natan.
Maybe don't. Natan. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
I like Natan.
Good name for an owl.
Natan! I choose you. No, I mean, I choose a legally distinct version of calling you forward. No. But yes, so I'm a druid, I have stick, and just as Johnny has a hat, I have a stick.
And at the moment,
I actually have a stick as well.
you're
I have a really big like a fighting stick.
a fighting stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I can fight with mine if I have to, but I prefer not to.
Is it a 10-foot pole, just so like we can get over the gaps and stuff like that?
10
Oh, no,
foot.
11 foot, is
yeah.
it?
That'd be
11 foot
huge.
pole.
Imagine lugging an 11-foot pole.
Wasn't that, isn't that like one of the traditional D&D, you always have an 11-foot pole?
A 10-foot pole, yeah.
10 foot pole.
Yeah.
Always a 10
Mine's a
pole.
quarter staff, so it's probably not 10 feet long.
No. So you're
No.
up to your thighs are covered in mud and mosquito bites, because you have been Menu ploughing your way through the black fens, as opposed to riding an owl, which would have been your normal experience.
Yeah, that's how I would normally have travelled, yeah.
Blessed to finally have left the black fens behind you. You're now plunging through
The Witchwood.
the Witchwood, which is oppressive and heat-soaked and dangerous, frankly. And now you're basically pushing your way through brush and through increasingly thickening forest, which is not a pleasant experience.
And the thing is, I can also imagine the humidity as well, like
Yeah.
just stinking hot. Like
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, nothing.
Decidedly unpleasant. Now,
Not to a dragon ball.
Maybe to a dragonborn, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, to a different kind of dragon, yes, but not to me.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm walking along, got my little owl tooting away in the background, kind of like, I'm guessing it's probably maybe a week old, kind of like, so incredibly young, like, I still have a part to the shell on my backpack, and walking along in my drawer, like my flying cloak, which is very much a free robe, so it would usually flutter and everything in the breeze, but just being dragged down by mud and dust and just
stained up to a certain level.
it was designed to kind of never touch the ground, but it's now the only form of clothes I have that covers me, but it's just being dragging down and pulling me down, so I can definitely feel I feel the marshland.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's how I'm rolling.
Well, you got to cross that river so you can wash when you.
Yeah.
That is true as well. Yeah, so it's kind of like, yeah.
Hooray!
Washing as I go, that's what I do.
So you have, I can show you Drellin's Ferry, Johnny.
Oh yeah, it's my hometown.
Say hi in the chat, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm monitoring the chat. I think Nathan is too.
Oh, just, yes. If you're in there, say hello. That'd be cool.
Just
Now I'll sit here and wait for you to say hi.
right.
Yeah, it's going to be like 10 minutes before it goes
in
in.
delay,
I'm
that's
gonna
right.
get a bit of an issue now because I'm going to be like, oh my god, I don't want to say to me. And then Johnny will say hi, and I'll be like, and I'll be like,
Yeah, Johnny, it's all Johnny.
Oh no, I
Everybody
made
loves
my
Johnny.
map disappear. Hang on.
everyone loves the Undertaker.
But yeah,
Yeah, you can talk while I just
I was
adjust
thinking,
things.
it'd be really nice to kind of hear why you want to do Red Hand of Doom and what it means to you as a thing, so we can have a bit of an understanding before we kind of like delve into it too
Yeah,
deeply.
so Red Hand of Doom is structured really, really beautifully. So it's an event plus location-based adventure. So one of the things that really suits the Dice Stormers style of play is not a dungeon crawl where you basically go from implausible room to implausible room where implausibly near to each other monsters inhabit next to each other, and you kind of enter a room with 3 goblins around a fireplace and they growl at you and stand up and come and attack you, which particularly gets up John's...
But don't go next door. if
That's
they hear
right.
any
Yeah,
noise.
exactly. That's right. Where there's a red dragon who can't actually get through the doorway. So yeah, that's one sort of adventure that we don't like so much.
Wow.
Another sort of adventure which we don't like so much are really, really highly railroaded or highly complicated sort of adventures where there's a big story that keeps sort of progressing and progressing, and you're kind of caught up in the next to it kind of thing, and you have to kind of hurry to keep up.
Yeah.
What's really great about Red Hand is it's very sandboxy, and you can kind of just play in the area. And so a couple of my favorite adventures were the Under the Big Top adventure, which everyone can check out on our YouTube channel, which is really where you just set up a scenario, and I know the people in it, I know what's going on, and you can basically pop the players down into the middle of it and then see what they do and let them sort of resolve the situation how they wish.
It's pretty much the only way I GM.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and so you can actually have quite complicated relationships or things going on behind the scenes. I can't spoil anything, but yeah, Under the Big Top, I know certain relationships that people have with other people, and and the players can basically reveal those things or not. And you can, as a dungeon master, you can actually literally then tailor the plot and the way things play out according to what the players' interests are. And Red Hand of Doom works like that, which is quite extraordinary as a published adventure. Yeah.
And this is you played it with John, but how old were you when you did that with John?
So 28 or something, yeah, a long time ago, I think.
So what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, that's
28?
right.
Yeah.
Now, one interesting thing with Red Hand is that it was written in 3.5, and every monster has class levels. So they're incredibly complicated to run.
Right.
And the danger, if you're not completely on the top of them, is each monster has some unique and special and powerful abilities which need to be utilised to make the encounters balanced. And if you miss them, then they're actually quite easy to kill.
Excellent.
And because of the nature of a 3.5 stat block with all class levels, it's actually really, really hard to keep track of how to run them. And one of the huge advantages of 5th edition is that the stat blocks are much, much simpler, and the unique abilities that the monsters are actually likely to use are described in full right there in the stat block. And the fact that they know Prestidigitation and Ray of Frost are just completely left out, essentially, a lot of the time.
Right.
So that's super, super cool. So I'm excited to run it under 5e. Good.
Very exciting.
You have a reason to go on an errand across Drellin's Ferry.
Across the ferry of Drellin's Ferry.
Can you tell us about Drellin's Ferry? Have you read enough of it? I know about it.
Where is Stronesville in the map? Let's have a look.
So,
Make it smack bang in the middle.
that was a very short break.
So this is Drellin's Ferry,
The town.
and here in the middle is the ferry,
Yep.
which is what the town is named for. There used to be a bridge,
Yep.
and the town used to be called Dwarf's Bridge, and now it's called Drellin's Ferry because there's a ferry run by a person called Drellin.
That's right.
It's pretty important then if the whole town's named after him.
Is that a recent thing, or is it like a Is Drellin the family name, and they've been
So-
doing it for years?
No.
or-
So yeah, the Dawn Way goes through Drellin's Ferry and goes, then Remember,
So, for
up
instance,
to the
would I
north?
know, or would I be heading to Dwarf's Bridge and then be shocked to
So
discover it's no longer called
No,
Dwarf's
it's
Bridge?
100 years ago the bridge was washed out. You would very much be aware that there is no bridge.
Right.
No, he doesn't really know anything about the LC of Vale at all.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
wondering.
so you're heading south. You're looking for the Witch's Garden, whatever the
I
heck
am
that
looking for
might
the
be.
Witch's Garden
Right.
with a
So
ruined
if
keep
you
in it.
follow the road will get to
Yep.
this
Yeah, to
junction.
there, that's right.
And it will be obvious that you need to.
So
catch
Drellin's
the
ferry has a horse winch to pull the ferry across.
Mm-hmm.
It costs you a couple of silver to cross over or whatever.
1 silver piece or 3 if you're on a mount.
That's right. But locals
Locals get to go twice in a
Yeah.
day for free.
for free, so you
Hang
can
on.
cross over and then come
Why?
back.
So, okay.
Cross over and come
Yeah.
back in a day without any charge. But if you want to go
Yeah.
again, then you pay.
yeah, which is fair enough, really.
Yeah, I think it's a good deal.
That's, you know what? It's not too bad.
I was charged.
That's more than you get in
I was
Sydney.
charged for the first year that I lived in Drellin's Ferry.
That's cool.
I was considered
Before
an
you,
outsider.
before you could prove you were a local.
For 12
Wow.
months.
Yeah. Like, how do you get local member? Like, what's the
Yeah.
actual process to become a local?
You just get a wink, I guess, at some point. You
Yeah,
just sort of,
the one finger salute.
The one finger
The one finger wave. It's a Yorkshire thing. Anyone from Yorkshire High. Yeah, they're driving.
Can you-
They'll do the one finger wave. You're
Ah.
in. You've been accepted once you get the one
Do you know
finger
what I
wave.
worked out in America? When you're on a motorbike and you drive along, you tap your head once, and that means the cops are in the area.
Really?
Yeah, so
you
that's
go.
like in Australia. Okay, so in Australia, when there are police in the area, which we wouldn't do because we are law-abiding people, we wouldn't do this. But when you see police are watching the road, if people are coming that road, you just flash them with your lights to say, "Hey, watch out!"
And you
know.
can actually get in trouble for that if
Yeah,
the
you
police
can.
see
Yeah,
you
like
doing it,
it's not good. And I've never done that in my life ever, Ben, because this is being recorded, and I would never admit to anything illegal. But they do that in America with the tap, like it's like like it's a.
It's cool.
Well, no, the wave.
Colloquial
The one finger
language
wave is
sharing.
there's no like police. It's just hello.
Yeah,
But-
it's because it's like the least effort kind of thing. Nah. It's like a nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like what up?
All right,
That's
so
cool.
am I on the ferry?
No, you've had
Or
some
have
business
arrived? I'm
over.
coming back.
Yeah, that's right.
So
You've
I
had
need
some
to be
business
on
over
this side
here.
coming back this way.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Just like to keep the miniatures.
If I'm
Keep it
coming,
real.
am I coming from?
You're
Yes,
coming down
you're
this
coming down
road.
there.
I'm going to
Hang
be
on,
not
let's-
walking on the road. I'm going to be walking on the cliff top there, because of course there's a better vantage point on that.
Oh, nice.
And therefore, I'm going to be scanning the other shore for a ruined keep.
And I assume that
That's excellent.
the druid is in the forest somewhere or something.
Well, he's come. Yeah,
Oh,
so
you
he's,
arrived
he's,
at the
he's
same
come
time.
down there. Yeah.
Well, he might be coming this way because of where.
That's
depends
true.
on where you cross the river.
Did he cross the river in the forest? Probably.
If we go
He
back to
has-
the map,
he has-
we can
maybe
work
over
out
this-
which river he
coming
crosses
down
and
this
where.
road.
Yeah, he has had. Oh, that's an interesting point. Let's go back to the map.
He
go
would
back
be
to the
coming down the witch trail.
If you make the wrong choice, your adventure is over and you are dead.
Well, that's what happens in many of Ben's adventures.
It's not on this map, but there is a trail through the Witchwood called the Witch Trail, which
Yeah.
is where he would be coming down.
I love.
So he's already on this side
I love
of the
that
river.
everybody.
Okay. I want him on the other
No,
side.
he doesn't.
I want him on the other side.
You get
Well, that's a
ex-
shame.
That's right.
Oh, you want to?
I want him on this side, so he's
No,
crossed
no,
over there.
I get-
Sorry, we've started the adventure by splitting the party. Sorry.
No. So what happened is the reason why that happened, because it's kind of interesting, is that I got when I was kicked out. I wasn't just kicked out of what I knew. I was kicked out of the area I knew. So I was thrown over.
You know
by
what?
an owl.
He did try and cross the river, but he got washed down, and he's actually crawling onto the shore.
Wow, that's quite a zoomed in.
Yes.
Large
Not really
18.
sure what we're looking
That's
at.
right. Yeah.
Perhaps it will be an area that we explore later.
Young John, could you please pass me the black liquid, which we are not going to name because of copyright?
So if you see here,
I'm sure they wouldn't mind the free episode.
see this little bit of map here? That's what I'm going to zoom in on, right?
Right. We're now advertising it. So
No, we're not because we're zoomed in on the camera.
you're in it.
Yeah.
So oh, that's cool actually. Let's say you're clambering out, because you actually said you're looking at the river, didn't you? You're clambering out of the river.
Well, I'm kind of I'm looking across the river. I might
Yeah.
notice, and I might need to do a passive perception.
That would be a
I'm
flight.
sure you'll pass that.
That would be
Well,
All
if
the
I don't,
flight-
it'll be his fault. So.
all the flight clothes are holding me down. They just get drenched in water. So it's like
So you go to cross the river, but yeah, you get dragged away.
Because I'm not used to doing things on the ground because I'm usually flying. That's
And
what
you're
I
just
do.
like sort of resigned to the suckage of the day.
I was about
in
to say
general.
my flight skills are. It's the first time I've ever in any kind of like D&D related game have actually meant anything important.
Right.
I'm so excited.
Do you want me to roll my passive, or do you want to roll my passive?
So the passive actually is passive. So there's
you
a
don't
certain
roll.
task you have to observe.
Right.
If your
either do
passive
or not
perception
do.
is ever above it, then you observe it, but other
Okay.
people might not, or the opposite.
Right.
Rather than rolling perception
Yeah, yeah.
when you're actually
Do I
looking for
notice
something.
the?
Yeah, so you notice clambering out of the river, this sodden-looking elf. Yeah, so you've got the beautiful robe. Your features?
Oh,
That's quite the long message.
that
from
is quite
somebody.
long. Hi, evil dice monkey.
Yeah.
Cool, what does he say?
Just want to say hi, love you guys. You guys' videos can't watch now, but will enjoy watching it after you're done. Just imagine if there is one found there that's shouting huzzahs in the chat for you whenever you do cool things, because that is what I will be doing when I finally get to watch this.
That's cool.
And hello, fuzzy little toe.
Can I just say, good Twitch names
Yes.
are like,
Yes.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Especially ones you can actually read out as well.
My Twitch name's my name.
Yeah.
Do you know-
Ben
also
of
good.
Sirenscape, which is not very imaginative, is it?
Mine's Norris by nature.
Yeah, I love that.
And you know what? I'm going to start streaming games as well. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you
nice.
must. Yeah, it's an
Alright.
obvious thing for you to
Thank
do.
you, evil dice monkey. We will see you soon.
Yes, and I will literally imagine you cheering
Yes.
every now and then.
And make sure you follow Norris by Nature and watch
Yeah.
his games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
No, it's gonna
Free
be a lot of
plug
fun.
right there.
Oh,
Got you
thanks.
back.
Oh, I do.
All right, back on task because I'm pulling out some.
Now,
Yeah, so you're going
bedraggled
to go down.
elf.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go and I'm going to
You're going to help the bedraggled
thrust
elf.
a golden hand towards him, give him literally a golden handshake.
Oh, nice.
How
You
do
know
you
what?
feel about
You know what? I'm
Other
gonna
races.
like
Some
stumble
of them are a bit
and kind of throw.
touchy-touchy.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw my bag at you, and my bag, you can see there's a small little. I've been trying to hold up a small. Like a
Oh,
drowning
okay. So you're
little
going to.
owl.
Do you give me any warning?
I'm no like.
Okay,
You gotta,
you're
I'm
just
just
gonna
like trying to
toss-
save this thing and throw it up at you, and I'm just gonna.
So you
kind of,
basically
like,
have been trying to, you haven't been able to swim with your arms because
Right,
you've
right.
just been
because
like,
I've been trying to hold this up, but the water has been drenched into this.
So it's a bag with an owl in it.
Yeah.
So can I tell that there's an owl in this bag that's flying through the air towards
Well,
me?
what's your perception? I would roll perception.
Well,
on that.
passively, I
No, but not passively. You're
Oh,
actively looking at me now.
Well, you've thrown a bag towards me.
Yeah.
I certainly see
Surely
that.
it's some
Whether
kind
it
of
has
reflex
an
save.
owl or not.
So give,
Well,
give us a perception check.
Perception?
Say 12.
No,
Roll it.
No.
that'll be a
So
2.
you just catch the bag.
Yeah, I just catch the bag.
There's-
You want
there's a-
dex for catching the bag, or
Oh, I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah.
no?
No. So you're making your way down the
Yeah.
banks. You're making your way down the banks. This elf is clambering out, slipping on the black mud,
Yep.
and he throws this bag at you, and you're like,
And says nothing. So
Yeah.
this bag kind of just lands on me. Which,
bag-
well, I don't even.
After it
Yeah. Just
lands,
kind of
he
goes,
then
put
yells
the-
out, think quick.
That's right. it bashes off the side of you, falls down. Some of this contents spill out of the bag, and this poor little bedraggled avian sort of rolls out of the bag and flaps its sort of, or tries to flap its little stubby, sort of soft, fuzzy wings.
It's just drenched, like
Yeah,
totally.
drenched.
Well, I continue on my path and put my hand out to pull
Yep.
the elf out of the water.
And I'm like, I can imagine now I'm kind of like caught in the mud and just spinning around. Like it's kind of proper marshland. So I'm imagining there's like, I'm grabbing on and kind of trying to pull myself in. Because now I can use my hands. I'm not as kind of just literally standing there with this thing trying to keep it above
that's right.
water.
Yeah, cool.
And so I just kind of like stumble and you probably just do
Gonna
your...
yank and pull.
I was about to say, Dragon Ball doesn't like gently, you just go...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not very heavy. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I'll be going. I'll be going.
Well, I'm not.
Huh.
I'm not like super skinny, but like
Yeah.
you know, I do a bit of like elvish bulk.
How heavy are you?
Oh, very light. Like, but like in terms of
Yeah,
the
I
elf,
might- I might-
I'm kind of cut for
I
a
might-
70-year-old.
I might hoist him, like as in.
Yeah, so you just throw him out onto the drier
And I just
bank.
collapse and just you know that thing where they splutter, like as in
Yeah.
like all this water's coming out of
Yeah,
my lungs.
yeah,
and
yeah. You're coughing up a bit of water.
A bit of blood as well, I can imagine.
Right, I might give him a clap on the
So
back then,
much.
make sure that all the fluid is clear.
He's now winded.
Can I just say, is that?
What's your strength?
I was about to say.
20.
Okay, dear
That's cool.
God, like.
I think you care. You might be dry too, because I might have let all the moisture out of you.
I was about to say what you're like. Is there like a medicine? But no, not really. You just like
Yeah, I'm not laying.
beat the health into me.
I'm not
Ben.
laying. No, no. I'm
Beat
not
the
laying,
health into
I'm
me.
not laying hands on you. I'm just bashing the water out of you like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So I'm just gonna lie there for a bit and just be like, "Thank you, good." Just breathing and just not being able to actually say what I want to say, but kind of like just lots of, "Thank you," and just kind of.
Why were you swimming?
What's the number plate? I'm just like, needed to escape. Let's cross the river. Didn't cross the river. What side am I on? I have no idea.
Oh, you've been all turned around.
I've spun
West.
so many times. I'm just like,
I love it.
and I'm like, I don't care. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec.
I just love, yeah,
And then-
as soon as you're on your hands and knees with water dribbling, like salivary water dribbling out
All
of
right,
your mouth.
I'm going to scan the far bank and see if I can see a ruined keep. Can I see a ruined keep?
Yeah, okay, so you see this town. So you can see on the map there, it's a... yeah, it's a small town. It's, what can I... It looks... Oh, I had a photo of it.
Is it distinctly
was really
human?
super cool.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of like, it's
Yeah.
not cool and elf or dragonborn like super cool, but just kind
No,
of like
it's all like stone.
Yeah, describe the town a bit for me while I grab this.
All the yeah, it's just your kind of your classic medieval looking kind of village. There's
Aha,
like
here we are.
about 1,000
so
people live there.
blandly
So
standard.
it's not like tiny village, but it's
Oh, we can see
not,
that.
It's not a big place. You said you were scanning for
A ruined keep.
Ruined
like a
keep.
ruined.
There's an old toll house that was there when the bridge
And
was
that's
there,
dwarven.
which is dwarven as opposed to
Some kind of
human
castle
architecture.
ruin.
But that's the biggest building you can
Right.
see.
Any kind of castle ruin?
Not that
Nah.
I'm aware of. Is there a ruined castle?
No,
No.
so absolutely. So I can give you
Okay.
quite, a,
Oh, he's got a
quite an
picture.
excellent picture of it.
Oh, excellent.
If you look to the screen now,
So yeah, so that's a lovely picture of the east
that is
bank.
nice.
It is.
The east bank.
Yeah,
So that's the side we're currently on.
That's what we're looking towards.
That's
We're on the west
right.
Oh,
bank.
no, we're on the west bank. We're looking at the east.
yeah, you're
Oh,
looking
yeah.
towards the
I
east.
can't see a destination.
So a church and some some buildings.
I'm slightly
There's
confused.
my graveyard.
Nice. And yes, your temple. Okay, I'm furrowing my brow, which might look like I'm angry, but
That's
So
cool.
this,
I'm not.
Is this?
Hang on,
This
let's go
must
to
be
the
the
map.
old toll.
That's the old toll house. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is pretty much the biggest building. Maybe the temple's slightly bigger.
Temple's slightly bigger. All right.
that's nice. I
Back
like
to
that,
zero.
Mary.
It's nice to have all these resources.
So I'm slightly
Yeah.
perplexed.
Yeah. You've come to the south and you're expecting a ruined keep. Yeah.
There might be one in a different town.
Right.
This isn't the right castle.
This is not the
This
town
is
you're
not the
looking for.
castle. This is not the town. I'm
I'm just going to take 3 stamina off you as well, Nathan, obviously to reflect the arduous journey down.
Have we
Oh,
explained
we need
the
to-
We
stamina?
haven't explained.
So we're just house ruling slightly hit points, the way they work. We've got health and stamina, which are half of your hit
Can I borrow a
points.
piece of paper from you, Johnny?
You lose stamina first,
You have it?
and it reflects.
He's got lots of paper. Oh, I've got a blank.
Oh, just a blankie. Oh, okay.
Stamina reflects your energy
You look on the
level,
other side, you'll see this map in small font.
combat awareness, balance, readiness to react, heroic luck, ability to turn a lethal blow into a mere graze. So yeah, the characters have half of their hit points as stamina.
And what's the kind of like the basis behind it is just so that it kind of like what was the thing you didn't
Yeah,
like? and
so
how
there's a
it
version of hit points called gritty hit points in the DM guide, where it takes a long rest actually takes you 7 days to recover all your hit points, and I thought that was a bit severe. So I wanted to make there's an abstraction in hit points in D20 for years and years and years and years, which is that a large chunk of them represent those things: the sort of the ability to twist out of the way of a blow, your balance, your actual stamina, how exhausted you are in the battle so far, and that once your hit points start to get really low, then actually real damage started to happen. One of the things that I like about the gritty hit points is you don't get all your hit points back just because you sleep the night and all your wounds are magically healed and you're completely fine, 100%. So I want to slow down the way people could actually restore their hit points a little bit, just to make it a little bit more gritty for which suits the style of adventure. So everything that's true of regaining hit points for a short rest is true of regaining stamina. So people can spend some hit dice to catch their breath and to get back their balance, their battle readiness and their ability to fight on. And for instance, when you take a long rest, you get all your stamina back after you have a long rest, because that makes sense. But your hit points don't come back in that way. You only get half of your level back for a night's rest. So that's
For health.
For health, that's right. And once all your stamina's gone in a battle, then you start taking actual health damage, which is once again half your hit points are representing health, and they actually represent actual physical cuts, which will result in permanent scars, which is really, really cool. You can still heal your health with healing spells, but you can't heal your stamina. With healing spells, you actually have to rest. I shall put some details in the notes, show notes. It's actually
yeah.
the coolest thing is it literally takes a word change in the short rest paragraph and a word change in the long rest paragraph from hit points to stamina, and that's it.
Very cool. I like
Cool.
that.
So yeah, so you're a bit puffed by half drowning.
Yeah, which makes narrative.
I will
that's right.
I will repack his bag with the things that have fallen out.
I had the realization at that moment that I'm just like, the
Stop,
bag,
stop.
like I'm just like,
Yeah,
as
that's
soon as I
cool.
see the bag, I just like caught and just stand up, start spluttering around and just checking the bag, and then you can see that he's got on your shoulder or
So
something.
you sort of fight off the fight.
No.
bag.
Well, no,
Yeah.
not even noticing. So yeah, so I'm not obviously shoving the living owl. Owl.
Is it a
an
fully
owl
grown
chick.
owl, or is it just
No,
a
it's,
baby owl?
it's a chick, but it's a huge. You would imagine that a chick should be a lot smaller
It's a
than what
chick
this
the
chick.
size of a
Yeah.
fully grown owl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I will.
Which
I will.
implies that
I'm,
when it is fully grown, it will be much larger than a
Right.
normal owl.
as
Yes.
in a mouse.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. So I will. Yeah. Shove everything else back into the bag, and then is the owl chick.
We're gonna go with Natan.
Natan?
Natan is beautiful. I like that. So it's climbed up on his shoulder, has it?
My
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah.
It's bonded with me.
That's fair,
Right.
but that, like,
It's got ambitious eyes. Yeah, I can mount it. I can be the mount for a dragon.
it's just,
Paladin.
it's just.
Super
No, it's just asserting dominance
Wearing
over
like
you.
heavy
You know.
plate armor.
Yeah, wearing plate armor with a tower shield. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna
He's the
jump
tank.
up.
He's the protector. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump up. I can imagine it's a little bit smaller than like a full grown, so it's probably like this big. But yeah, I just put my arm out and it flies over and lands and just
Well, it's kind
Well,
of
it kind of
yeah.
stumbles.
Stumbles, yeah, leap
shakes
hops. Yeah.
shakes off all the
Kind of
water.
falls off me onto
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
you know, and it's
I-
you got.
Oh yeah, like can I just say, like it is not very gentle. Like it's still because as I said, it's only very very young, so it's kind of like it doesn't know its own strength yet. It's kind of working out what everything happens, and it lands on my shoulder and just digs its claws in. I'm like. Like I immediately wake up a bit. It's definitely
Does he regain some stamina from the
no.
shock?
I
of-
would love to lose
He might even lose one. Yeah.
from this yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm still not even myself yet. I'm kind of like everything is everywhere. I'm grabbing everything and kind of
cool.
working it out.
We
So-
must cross the river. And I point in the opposite direction.
And I just go, again? Like, as in like, yeah, that wasn't the best experience for me last time.
But
My
you,
character's-
you can see up ahead, crossing towards the western bank, is like a rope pull ferry.
I turn his head with my hand. Ship.
I'm like, well, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Well, yes, let's use the ferry. And I go along and start looking for my wallet, and it's not there. So I don't know. It's probably going to be somewhere.
point.
I'm looking on
Cold,
the ground,
nice.
and there's nothing actually that's fallen out. Anyway.
So I'm taking a disadvantage, knowing that
Nice.
you'll look after me in the future, but I have no
Excellent.
money.
Zero coin.
I have now got absolutely nothing. Now
I love it.
Where I left with quite a bit and was well looked
Yeah,
after, but
yeah.
I've actually lost everything that was
That
given
is
to me.
super cool.
Except for the magical item that was in my bag, right, Ben? Right? Remember the one with the +4 on it? Do you remember that one? I remember talking to you about that before. So we don't even need to discuss it. We'll just assume it,
I'm not
right?
sure what's going
It
on.
does.
Yeah, he's talking about.
So meanwhile,
Oh.
Me?
so this is a massive zoom in, as I said. So there's meanwhile
Shove you across the board like a chess piece.
Drafgar,
Fagrin. No? Drathgar.
the ferry operator,
Ah,
Drellin?
No. He's Drellin's great.
great grand
Great
nephew
grandnephew.
of Drellin himself.
Well, that makes a lot more sense when you see Drellin still runs the ferry.
Well, it's still in the family.
Right.
The Drellin.
Right.
And they're all just known as Drellin.
Well, he's known as Drathgar.
Okay.
So while that's all happening, you turn up, having and Drathgar says, "Yeah,
One finger salute.
yeah,
Yep.
The eyebrow, hello.
finished your business.
Yes, I have.
Something I want to hear about."
Probably not.
Thought so.
You know what the really cool thing would be is you're like, well, actually, there was this. It's like, you know, when nurses talk to you and they're just like, so at work today,
So much
someone
mucus.
like lost their arm, and I was like, that's amazing, and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, This is not what normal people say. Like imagine Greg,
Just a routine procedure. I'm in for a routine procedure.
Oh. So you're both sort of just awkwardly wanting to chat, but he feels a bit awkward around you because you're not really a burnt on local,
No.
rusted on local,
Rusted on.
A barnacle.
barnacled on local. When walking down the shore line come a very odd couple.
Yes, an elf and a dragon.
An elf and a dragonborn. That's right.
Now, how many
It's the theme to the odd couple.
elves or dragonborn?
I don't know. I was born in the 80s.
Okay.
Oh, I've got that stat.
Specifically says.
I've
That's
got a
right.
percentage.
How common are elves and dragonborn?
Elves are 1% and dragonborns are 0.
So you know about
In
elves.
terms of the population of this area.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
right. So you know about elves to
So
the
you're not even a
north.
minority that even gets a
I'm-
1%.
yeah.
Yes.
They keep to themselves,
Yes.
and
I mean, I'm an old man, and I have lived other places before living here. So I think I've come across dragonborn in my past, but the other locals might be a bit put off, potentially.
Drathgar looks at you two walking down. And says, "Hey, here's an odd couple. What are you two walking along the bank for?"
I'm just like, hello, good friend. Me and my,
Companion.
yes. We were walking along, and my Al Natan. We were walking along the
Youngster, he just turns to a little kid who's next to him and goes, yeah, and piss bolts off up to the north, just up this road here.
Okay.
and then I just keep going. We were walking along the river. Well, I was walking on the other side, and I think I've managed to switch sides.
You were swimming.
Or if that's what you call it. And
Drowning?
yes, lack of swimming was maybe
Perhaps
more
not
what the problem was.
swimming.
Bobbing.
Unswimming.
It's an unusual way to come into town.
Yes. So we weren't doing very well, but we, how do we say? Yeah, we were hoping to get back to the other side, and wondering if you could help us.
Ferry.
You'll need a ferry. Fortunately, there's one about minutes away.
Minutes away. Fantastic.
Yes.
And I'm just going to be like, well, thank you, good friend, and I'm going to keep walking as if walking past towards the ferry.
He sort of backs off slightly nervously. Just take your time. It'll be here soon.
Vagrant's not backing away?
Yeah, what's your reaction to this?
I'm just watching.
Okay.
Just watching, observing, considering.
Do I have a mini for...
Oh yeah, you know the ferryman.
I do.
How much
He
is
better be
Ferry?
holding a pig.
Hello, Sonarel. Sonarel? I might have missaid that.
Yeah.
I've got all sorts of minis. I'm looking through my minis in great detail. I realised today I have many minis.
Many.
I laugh at your approximation.
A mere jot to the eye.
I have a garage full of a garage?
We have documentary evidence to prove so. So at that point, hustling in the most nonchalant way they can possibly manage, come three obviously guards.
Are these summoned by young chap?
Yes.
Right.
The boy is trailing along behind, and this guard says, "Gentlemen, you seem to have bypassed a watch post."
Oh, I can explain that. So I tried to cross the river, and I couldn't, and I kind of got swept away through it. So I hit the bank back there, and my friend here let me up.
I have walked the road from the north. There was no toll.
We weren't looking for a toll, just security and being able to monitor who comes in and out of town. There's been raids.
Well, I'm
I am
Menu.
hard to miss.
Indeed. Dragonborn. But you're supposed to go through the standard procedures and make yourself known to town before you just stick to the banks to avoid us.
I am Maestan Shemesh.
Ah,
Is that your name?
That is a cool name.
Is that your name?
Maestan.
You know what? I'm going to mentally and physically write that down.
that's so cool.
What is it? My.
Well, yes.
Stan.
Do
And then surname Shamesh.
you want to give me a? I mean, you said that so grandly. He's sort of like.
Well, I think he thinks that he's just gone through the formal procedures.
That's right. Yeah. That's cool. Oh, well,
What is your intelligence? I want to.
7.
Okay, cool. No. Understand.
well, no, not meaning to cause offence, of course. What is your business in Drellin's Ferry, Maestan?
The god has sent me a message.
Hang on,
I
did you-
must find the ruined keep.
Can I ask you a question?
Witch's garden.
Ruined
Where is
keep in
this
the-
ruined keep?
A ruined keep in a witch's garden. That's a mighty fancy way of saying things. What,
There I shall find a tool for good, and good companions to journey with.
okay.
I'm
good.
I look
actually
around.
character laughing.
I look around myself like,
The elves aren't
So good.
The elves. When you said the god, I kind of started giggling because there's multiple gods. Because how silly would it be to say that there's one god? Like that would just be stupid. So that's when I started laughing. Where I ended up laughing was the fact that you couldn't string your sentences together, and I find that kind of entertaining.
And you elf,
Yes, me.
you look wet.
Wet. River. Tried to cross, didn't quite make it as well as I did. I didn't know there was a ferry. I usually
The
I'm a
Titty
rider.
Kitor, yes.
Yeah.
Normally riding safe and secure in the skies, keeping to yourself. What are you doing here?
Long story, but I just want to dry off first, if I can. And
Yes.
Is there a pub?
Yes. Yeah, one of the locals will take care of you, I'm sure.
formal introductions are done.
Yes, certainly. Yes, I think you're good enough to. As you travelled from the north and you didn't come into incident or anything.
No.
There has been some activity from Hobgoblins.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there has.
Is there?
Is there?
I say that to you.
No one approached you at all.
Really?
They might have noticed you from some distance and kept the distance.
There's
I'm
been
gonna-
Hobgoblin play and I wasn't involved.
I'm going to ask.
out.
I'm going to follow up on that question because that's kind of important to me.
So at
I'm
that
just like-
moment, you see the ferry, which is just kind of 50 feet away from the shore. Someone on it goes, "Ah!" and sort of yells something indistinct, pointing up this way.
Okay.
You hear coming raging down the road a bunch of 5 large hobgoblins.
Oh dear.
Hang on. I like the 3 number. Just putting it out
Sorry,
there.
let me check.
Oh, Hobgoblins.
I get it.
4 hobgoblins, preceded by bounding, hideous wolf things, hounds with dark midnight black fur and red glowing vicious eyes. There's just as you turn, a man and a child have been caught open in the street where they were, and they try to back off, and the child slips, and the man lunges forward to protect the child, and this hobgoblin with this vicious longsword just slashes across the body of the man, who twists and cries and falls to the ground, and the child screams and goes to run forward, but is just bowled over by these hobgoblins who are coming down the road towards you. Roll
30 feet. Sorry, these
Yes.
guys are here, are they? The child.
Yeah, that was sort of just here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Should I pop them on?
Yeah. Too far away. Ah.
This man's sort of on the ground, and the kid is flattened on the ground next to him. Wow. We roll for initiative, I suppose.
Well, I hear that's what happens in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Benjamin.
Woo! Which is just a dexterity check, unless I have proficiency in it.
20.
15
15
plus.
as well.
15 plus my initiative bonus, which is plus 4.
Oh, 15 was my total.
Oh, I
So Nathan gets 19,
I'm sorry,
you get 15.
I'm 19.
I'm
So you
20.
beat everyone, so
I'm
the monsters
20.
go last. Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
So I say, are you willing?
Who are you saying it to?
Just out loud,
Just
and
out
my
loud.
hands are going out towards
Nice.
your shoulders.
Oh, nice.
Well, I'm always going to say yes
Yeah.
because my problem is I always like.
I am willing.
You feel a kind of a golden glow from my fingers
Oh, that's
go and
Oh,
imbue
that's-
with
that's cool.
like bravery and the desire to defeat these.
Plus oneness.
Plus 4, so
Plus
now
4.
you are blessed. You basically whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw, up for 1 minute, you roll a d4 and add that to your attack roll or saving throw.
That's
Just
cool.
1d4.
You add 1d4 to your roll.
I'll just put that there.
to our attack rolls. We have 1d4. That's
Yes.
really good. That's actually quite a good.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And then I run forward and try and get in front of everybody.
These guys are vicious. Okay, good. Right, yes.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Remember, there's.
Hang on, let's have a look at the map. So this is where it is. So this
Oh, how cool does that look?
is. So we've got. I'm just gonna slightly increase that.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Wow, that looks pretty amazing.
There
Yeah,
we
that's
go.
good, yeah.
So we've got the Hobgoblins up here, and then we've got the guards here. This, Dragonborn is Murray. This is me looking all like cool because Roby.
That's a gorgeous cam, isn't it, Nathan?
And yeah, oh, it's amazing. And this is Johnny.
The old guy, who's just an old guy, apparently. You're
Look
given
at
no
him.
indication of being anything other than an old guy.
Yeah,
yeah.
He was willing. He
I am willing.
Yeah.
He said he was willing.
So you rush forward 30 feet, Murray?
Yes.
And do something?
Oh, I've done my spell, and then I've rushed forward 30
Yeah,
feet.
okay,
So
good.
I'm
Excellent.
ready to take attacks.
I like that.
So that brings up Johnny, Nathan.
Yeah, so I'm going to. I'm really excited because I've kind of like I haven't found my fighting stuff yet. So I've got my scimitar, which is like the thing that's on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to kind of like look over and just kind of like pull it out and kind of like. But I'm not used to fighting on the ground. Like I'm in the air, like awesome. But like just gonna pull it out and start like charging towards. So I'm just gonna jump up and kind of go with the dragon.
So he sort of sets off and you sort of like...
I'm just like...
When draw, cloak flying out behind you.
Well, not really. It's still drenched,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like slowed, I would
Yeah,
imagine,
yeah.
compared to what because usually elves are very light on their feet. I'm
that's
very
right.
much just trudging in mud,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not really at my pinnacle.
So it's
my
not like
peak.
an Assassin's Creed where he sort of just shakes a little bit after getting out of the water and he's
No,
instantly
I'm
dry.
more like, like yeah.
That's cool, yeah. Fagrin, this old man waiting for the ferry at the end of a hot, hot day.
Yeah. Well, I reach into my robe and I pull out a black orb. And I hold it out in front of me and say some words in a strange tongue. And coming out of the orb comes this sort of black mist that flies past all these people and lands somewhere here in the form of a slick grease.
Oh, that's cool.
I've heard of that spell.
Yes.
It's broken in many versions.
It's not too broken in this.
So where does it go?
So it's going to go in front of these. These are wolves, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sort of on or around the location of the wolves. It's, what is it, 10 foot square?
are 10-foot square.
Yes.
Yes.
I wonder if I can draw this.
You probably
but-
can.
But
They're not quite in the same 10-foot square, are they?
Don't worry about that.
They're 10 feet from each other, but I guess I've got to pick 4 squares to nominate
Yeah.
on the grid, which isn't quite. I mean, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that they're going to run through that. Maybe,
yeah, I'll probably have to get there.
maybe these 4.
So further that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. So just sort of this black orb flies out and hits there again.
Yes. So they will have to make a dex save if they enter those
Enter it.
squares in the next minute.
And
Sweet.
fall prone if they don't make it.
If they, yes, fall prone. Yeah, fall prone, and I guess stay prone until they succeed on their dex throw on the next turn, and the turn after, and the turn after, until they get up.
So every time they end up in there, they're going to make a dex save.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And even if they succeed, if they stay on it,
Yeah.
then on their next turn,
Yeah.
if they end in it, they'll have to make the save again.
That's
to
cool. And
stay
what's
there.
the DC of the save?
Yeah, it's a good question. Why is that not written here? DC.
Does characters have a spell DC, don't they? Just a set one.
Yeah, they have a set one.
Which is listed somewhere.
Yep.
Do we know how to calculate that?
It's I have it written down. I just can't find it. Graze DC 14.
14. Okay, awesome. Right, that's pretty cool. Right.
Which is not. I mean, a four-legged creature.
This
They might have a
hellhound.
chance.
You can't trip them. That's
This hellhound definitely
But
enters
as
the
in,
grease
They usually have more dex than a
because it's
two-legged.
directly
Yeah.
in front. So it has to make a DC 14 dex save. Oh wow! So this hellhound sort of just rushes forward, oh, and its feet slip out from underneath, and it falls in a heap, a
now it's
greasy,
prone.
slimy heap. The other one rushes forward and misses. Would be fair enough, I suppose. One sees the gold shiny paladin and pulls its teeth back. Yeah, easily, and just
I bare my teeth back at
rushes. Yeah, that's nice.
Nice.
Rushes,
yeah. I was
leaping,
going to say it should have a fear check. Yeah.
leaping in the air as it comes forward with gleeful redness and hate in its eyes for your goldy shininess.
Cool.
Jaws flashing open in the order of a 15.
I laugh at it.
Yeah, so you laugh. So, I mean, I guess it must come to screeching to a halt, and maybe it rethinks and checks its attack a little bit. Comes scratching feet in the ground.
Bites metal.
Yeah. Sort of teeth bounce off the outside of your armor quite safely a little bit.
I'm going to freak out at that. I'm going to be like, "Whoa."
Yeah, it's like really vicious.
I was really
thank you,
enthusiastic.
Sonorel.
Yeah,
just
that
wanted
was
to
really-
interrupt.
Yeah, totally.
Your Pathfinder under the top big. No, read that wrong. Your Pathfinder under the big top arc is what first inspired me to give GMing a try a few years ago. I just wanted to say thanks.
Oh,
Thank you.
Did it?
Ben can say that too.
No, that one would have passed through this square, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Ben can
In
say
a
thank you
straight
because that was
line.
Ben's straight adventure.
No, it did like a vector. It did like a turn.
Come on.
Fine. He fails too.
That's the idea.
Slips indignantly
Come on.
to the ground. This one comes storming right over the top of him. Steps on his chest.
Because that won't be
two.
difficult to get past.
Okay, I'm going to give this guy like a perception check, right? Say DC 15 wisdom check to see if he notices that it's not a good idea to go through that square, and definitely doesn't notice,
Because he's a goblin.
but does sail through.
Oh, he made his,
Slipping and
he
sliding
made his
through.
grace check anyway.
1, 2, 3. This guy also makes
Grease is
his
such
wisdom check, so therefore
Therefore
comes
it goes
screeching.
around.
Let's say actually he comes screeching to a halt and just goes, "Whoa! These guys are like slipping and sliding." Wow, so he actually managed to stop them directly
Yeah.
because you all moved in, and that's kind of dangerous because then they can all just move in and attack you.
Yeah,
But you actually broke that. Good.
That's what I do.
Is the father breathing? Because I'm kind of focused on the child and the dad.
Yeah, it's kind of across a little bit of an area. So I guess give me a perception check. I'll say DC 15.
You.
No, so you just can't see. There's all this
But the
chaos
boy- the
happening.
boy
There's a
wasn't
dog in your
injured then
face.
when they-
The dog didn't seem injured. The guy took like a big slash and blood spraying everywhere, kind of thing. So yeah, he's
Was it
probably
a dog or a boy?
his boy.
His boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's a
yeah.
little
Did the
kid.
town's guard have their turn yet?
No, that's probably a fair enough point. These guys.
We've got someone
Three.
Yeah,
Three
the tiny
NPCs
NPCs
fighting.
to
Yeah.
take some damage for us.
Absolutely. They step forward. He shouts at them. There's a moment of hesitation, and the guy who was addressing you shouts at them, "Come on, boys! Get into it, you fools! What are you doing?" And they rush forward, attacking. So both of them attack that hobgoblin. One hits, just, and the other misses. So slashing with their reasonable competence. These militia, cause this hobgoblin here on the edge here to reel back, opening himself up to attack in le future. Wow, quite badly. Yeah, he wrenches himself back, using up all his stamina, and has only hit points left.
Yeah.
His softy, showy bits are well and truly open for attack.
We're back to the top.
Yes. So you kind of had a look to see, but yeah, you can.
When I ran forward,
I'll
the
let
boy
you do
was-
that
the boy was
freely.
who I was,
Yeah.
concentrating on.
Yeah, the boy was sort of kicked out of the way and
Yeah.
like a knee crunch.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slash this wolf out of the way, trying to get an eye line to the boy.
Cool.
So I am going to attack with my long sword.
Excellent.
Oh yes, and I roll a 23.
That'll do it.
1d8 plus 7.
Oof, all right.
13 damage.
Yep.
Great.
Okay, yeah. So it's forced back. It's sort of scratching forward at you, and then your sword comes through, and it pulls its head to the side as it swings through the air next to its head.
Great.
13 damage. Yep. Okay, good.
Cool. And with an eye line to the boy, I, as a bonus action, cast Sanctuary
Oh, cool.
on him so that he cannot be hurt.
Okay, and you got the range to do that?
30 feet. So,
Just maybe.
just, I think.
Yep. I'll let that happen.
He's probably on the edge of 30.
Yeah. Remember, your diagonal's only a
Yeah.
single step. Since everyone can run faster diagonally than they can run square. Okay. Cool. Good. Next.
Was that you?
That was me, yes.
No, you too.
So I'm going to cast Flame Blade,
Ooh.
which is a second level evocation. Basically, I have one scimitar in my other hand. I'm just like, my other hand just goes along with, and just another scimitar comes out. So I've got two scimitars in either of my
cool.
hands.
That's pretty cool.
And I step forward and take a swing.
Excellent. So you can do that cast spell as a free action, can you?
I'm just seeing here.
Bonus?
Cast time is bonus action.
Yeah, good.
There's no such thing as free actions.
You're
Yeah,
right.
bonus action,
Foolish as
please.
me.
So I'm going
so many
to.
descriptions of action.
I'm going to step forward and step forward to here, and
Yep.
maybe to here.
Are there opportunity attacks in this game? Yeah, there would be.
There are, yeah.
But
Yeah,
I haven't left 5 foot step.
You
from-
did. He threatens the square
So this one here.
there. He threatens that square, yeah.
But
So does the dog, in fact, yeah.
okay, cool. Well, I'm happy to take
So the dog takes a bite at you as you
Or I
step
can go
forward.
like this if I was being very careful.
Yep. So you spin round. Yep. That's good.
Maybe I'll go for the ones on the ground.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
they're the safer ones.
You have advantage
what I
against
did.
him.
Yeah.
You have advantage.
It's prone, yeah.
So-
you get to roll 2 dice.
I roll
Advantage.
2 attacks.
No,
I need
you
a
can roll
second.
2
Just 2 d20s.
Man.
2
d20s,
d20s
and you
for
take
your
the higher.
advantage.
13 plus,
AC 15, so I imagine you get it. Yep, excellent.
Plus.
and then
More than one.
the second attack.
Move and 2 attacks?
Yeah, because I've got. It says when you
cool.
cast the flamings, you get 2 attacks.
Yeah, cool. Okay, good.
So so the other one would have been 16.
Yep, hit.
Cool. So they both hit. So the flaming spell does 3d6 damage.
3d6.
Yep. Yeah.
It's prone.
And it takes 3d6.
Yeah.
So basically, it's
Check.
one thing. Like once it's gone, it's gone. But it does 3d6 damage.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I love it.
So 3, 5, 2. 3, 5, 2, 10 damage.
10
and the
damage.
other one is. Let me just get that one for you. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm using D&D Beyond, and it's freaking amazing.
Yeah, D&D Beyond is wonderful. Great guys. Awesome system.
Yeah. And
Stop whinging about having to pay them money to use their services just because you own a paper book from another company. All right? Flamore starts instantly.
So, 1d6 plus 4. So 2 plus 4, 6. So that's 16 damage to him.
16. What? Total? No? What?
16 damage to the wolf. From
Sorry.
me. Total.
So
16
how much damage
total.
does the second one do?
Does 6 damage.
6 damage,
Because I
yeah.
rolled really badly because it's me, and that's what I do.
So you actually, so you're swinging this thing, the flame thing enters the grease and
just
lights it.
Actually,
it
does
desperately,
it?
it
Does it
desperately,
light the whole
Flame
grease?
damage.
desperately rolls to the side, and it's forced to swing open, and its stomach is actually bared to you now as it's trying to do that kind of dog trying to right itself thing. It's licking tongue.
How does all the other things in the grease go if the grease
Yeah,
starts
well,
lighting?
it'll spread.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, cool, awesome. That's now your turn. Is that right?
Yeah, I suppose it is. Alright. Well then, I hold up my orb again.
Ooh.
And a black beam of enervating energy
Oh, it's 10 minutes I got the sword.
comes out of
Really?
the orb
Yeah,
in
go
a
on, sorry.
straight line through between here at this.
Whoa.
How,
Sweet.
is this one of these where you have to be like super accurate? Like,
I think it could go around them.
Bends
it's
around.
kind of got its own.
and you got style.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So, I'm making a ranged attack against this guy, whatever he is. What are they?
They look like hobgoblins, so big, ugly, frightened, man-sized goblins.
Alright, so I think I have to roll when it says make a ranged attack, don't
Yep.
I? That's unusual.
Yeah.
Normally a spell just hits.
Yeah.
But
Oh, no, yeah, it's, yeah.
this one's not like that. I rolled a 20.
When you roll a crit, it's fine. Stop whinging about having to roll.
You double the dice, I believe.
Cool. The problem is that it's not that kind of spell.
What does it do?
This is a ray of enfeeblement.
Yep.
Because, you know. That's
How
what
much?
thing to
How
do.
much thing does
So
it do?
normally it would mean that from now on in this,
Eating my duck.
for the next minute,
I had to go.
the target only deals half damage with weapons attack that use strength until the spell ends.
Wow, cool. So let's just
But-
drop into his knees.
Yeah.
So shimmering over his body is this dark, horrible energy, and he shudders, feels nauseous, drops to his knees, and throws up his guts on the ground in front of you.
Ooh, what's in
Almost
his
like,
guts?
yeah, almost. Oh,
What is the
Birds,
confidence of
you
the
know,
Should I
hobgoblins?
lie him down prone
yeah.
as well? Is that what
People's
we're
washing.
I'm
kind of
just
stuff like that.
proning everyone.
Prone
That's what I
everyone.
do.
That's right. He's sort of, gangland style.
Ray of
Run the break will log in there.
That's cool.
It's a cool spell.
Excellent.
That's really cool.
That'll be them then.
So this guy gathers his balance a little bit and hurls his vicious.
Who's he attacking?
This is the dog.
No, the
that
bugbear.
Who's he
They're not
attacking?
bugbear.
Is he attacking this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, he's got the disadvantage. I'm going to use my reaction of protection. While wielding a shield, a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet. You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack.
Yep. You can see him lining up, and he, half energetically, just like, "Ah!" and there's just this. Oh, so his longsword comes up, and the militia just as easily as can be, blocks it, and feels awesome doing it.
Good.
The hound regathers its balance and hurls itself viciously at you, teeth
Futile.
flashing.
Yep.
You're very confident. Does it also get disadvantage, or is it only
No,
the
it's only
friends?
up
It's
for protecting
happy.
others. Yeah.
It gets a 20 AC.
Yes, it's me.
So,
Oh, hang on, you've got 20. So is it
20.
does it
So
hit
it's
you?
20. Yeah, 20.
Yep,
20
yep.
is 20.
I guess stamina damage 9
Hubris.
hit points as
Listen.
it grabs onto your arm, and
Right.
there's this wrenching battle of arm against arm.
Right. Hubris.
And then out of it's
Learn
just you
that
can
lesson.
feel your armor heating as
Oh.
the fire in its
I'm
mouth
Fire resistant.
heats your arm. You're
I'm a gold
fire
dragon.
resistant.
I'm a gold dragon. Yeah. So I'm resistant to
Yeah.
fire and immune to disease.
So seven hit points of not really you care at all.
Ah, cool.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you
so
get, if you're resistant, do you take
I take half.
off?
Yeah.
you take half damage.
Yeah,
Okay, so 3.
3.
So your arm is wrenching in the
Yeah.
shoulder and a little bit hot.
I laugh, but slightly less confidently than
That's
last
right. This hellhound that's on the ground catches on fire, Johnny,
Oh, good.
and its eyes
Oh, no, it
fill.
was already on fire.
It fills
wasn't
with hatred. It hadn't actually caught on fire. It rolled out still trickily. It is prone. Does it get disadvantage on attacks if it's prone?
Look, the prone card here
according
from
to the card, it
Yep.
says yes.
critgames.com,
And
which
so-
is a Kickstarter right back.
Hooray.
Disadvantage on attack rolls,
And if
and
it-
must crawl
Advantage.
for movement.
Okay, so it rises to its feet, giving you an attack of opportunity or an opportunity attack or whatever the heck it's called in this thing.
Attack of opportunity, I think it's
So that's you,
No,
yes?
opportunity
No,
attack.
opportunity
attack.
That
Yep.
be
That's
you.
you.
Yep, I will do that with both my weapons or just one?
Just one, yep.
I'm going to use the flame sword.
Excellent. Why the heck wouldn't you?
Is it with advantage or not? Because it was getting up.
No, just
It's getting up.
Yeah, it's just a normal attack.
17 plus, yeah, I hit.
That's enough to hit AC. So what sort of damage do you cause?
3d6.
3d6 fire damage only?
Yep.
Just 3d6 fire damage?
I'm looking at it. You want to know if it's fire damage because this is a creature of fire, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Fire damage, yes.
Yes, so it just enjoys the flames as its body is
Is it
reed.
immune?
It bursts into flame.
like you.
And it's
I'm
the
resistant.
burningness in its mouth is met by the burning fire of hatred in its eyes, which is now met by a beautiful plume of redness glowing off its black flesh.
So literally, it's fire. Fire does nothing to
It
it.
eats the fire up with the greatest glee. Immunities, fire.
Really interesting. Okay.
The hobgoblin is prone. What's the DC? That was 15, wasn't it? So he scrabbles around in the muck. This guy legs it round the corner. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. And joins the fray, attacking this militiaman. That's got to be a hit.
5 feet.
He's within 5 feet of his friend. So together they form such a vicious line of swinging blades. They do extra damage through martial advantage, which is kind of freaky.
Oh dear.
And drop him.
Oh.
So he just comes hurling,
guy's
and this blade just sticks right in the chest of this poor militiaman who falls backwards off it with a stifled cry.
Nice.
Yeah, that was cool. This guy fails his bravery check and stumbles back 5 feet rather than attacking. The more sort of guy with more authority steps forward, cries out, leaps over the body of his companion and servant, but is just so disorientated that he swings vainly in the air. And that's
Might need to help next time.
everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Back to me.
The dad makes a death save, which he fails.
Oh dear. How many?
How healthy
You
is
get
this?
three fails, isn't it?
Is this hellhound looking look?
So which one?
The one that's attacking me.
It looks pretty actually on its last legs. Oh no, sorry, no half legs. You haven't actually touched it yet.
No, I did 13 damage to it when I.
So you haven't touched its flesh yet.
Oh, okay,
It's
right.
off balance, scrabbling. It's
healthy,
surrounded.
right.
Yeah, but no, there's no damage on it at all.
Okay. Right. Well, I'm going to now that it's done some damage to me, I'm all seriousness.
So it's
now.
on your arm at the moment. That's right. Yeah.
So I'm going to stab it with a 13.
That's unfortunately not enough to hit.
Not enough.
So you go to swing, but it's wrenching you off balance yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. Yep. All right.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, there goes a
I might
paladin's
do-
turn.
No. As a bonus, I've got so many bonus actions.
Okay, good.
I'm
List of
going to
bonus
cast Shield of Faith.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. In front of my shield.
Cool. Excellent. What does that do?
Another +2 to AC.
Okay. Yeah.
So I now have a shimmering shield around me.
Fantastic. Good. That brings up Nathan.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go along and I'm with my
Menu.
What I'm going to do is I have to, because you can only do one spell at a time. So I'm going to just like pull my flaming sword in because I knew it didn't do anything.
Yep.
And I'm just going to go like that, and it's going to frost is going to cover my entire arm.
That's so cool.
And I'm going to do frostbite on it.
The
which is
fire
like-
didn't work.
Yeah, just frost in its face. So that is a con. It's a cantrip, but it does 1d6 damage of frost damage, which I'm hoping will do something.
Might be vulnerable too.
It's con 15.
Okay, fails the con save.
Cool. So it does 1d6 frost damage, which is 4. I don't know if that does anything to a fire creature, but
Should do.
Oh yeah.
the target must
Yeah, I think it's
make con save. On a failed save, the target takes 1d6 damage and has disadvantage on the next attack, weapon attack roll it makes before the end of turn.
Okay, so its jaws are opening to you, and you literally just frost inside its mouth, and it has this pause and sort of shake and crunch as splinters of ice come out of its mouth.
The thing is, I can imagine it continuing to grow and it just keeps fighting against
that's
the
cool,
frost
that's cool.
as it's going. It's kind of like
I
a
love that.
battle within its mouth.
That's super cool. Yep.
It's like when you have sherbets and M&Ms. It's kind of like both flavors are going. You're like, whoa! That's pretty much what I would imagine.
Ah, super cool. Wow. Johnny.
All right. Well, I cry out loudly while holding up my black orb, and get the attention of this goblin here, the one in the middle, like that. And it looks into my black orb and sees its mortality.
Oh.
Wow.
And it must make a save, a wisdom save, DC 14.
So one of these
against-
hobgoblins.
Yeah, this one here in the middle.
Yeah, which is already.
The one that's engaged with the...
Okay, it fails its save just.
No, so it is frightened for the next minute.
Okay, so it'll run away. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Mary wants to tell me
Oh,
what
I've got the
frightened
card,
means.
yes.
Excellent.
Okay.
The one that I previously cast, what was it? I can't
Enfeeblement,
remember.
right,
Enfeeblement.
Yeah.
Is, I mean, it's prone, but
Yeah.
it's no longer, like, when it gets up,
Yeah,
its
yeah.
attacks will be back to normal, because it was a concentration spell. I've just cast another spell, so I'm
Yeah.
not concentrating on the previous one.
So it has disability on
Just to be
ability
clear.
rolls, disadvantage on attack rolls, cannot willingly move closer to the source of fear.
Cool.
So yeah, this is another concentration
Yep.
condition.
Fantastic.
So when I,
Yep.
next turn, I can either continue this or end it and
Yeah.
do something else.
Yeah. Okay, so the
Hold the orb up
hellhound,
and hold its fear.
these things that are clearly more than just normal dogs, attacks the paladin. And I dropped the dice, so it's a 1. So, do you want an attack on it?
I will take an attack on it. That is another 13.
Ooh, yeah, so it's not enough. But it's wasted
Oh,
its
I
turn.
forgot my bless.
Oh yeah,
It's a 17 with a bless.
17. We got bless going?
We got bless going was when they were well.
Yeah.
Well, that's literally enough then.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's a
that
plus
was
4.
the
It's
bonus.
bless plus 4.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry, it's 1d4.
plus
So
1d4,
13 plus 1.
It's only 14, which is not enough.
Oh,
Because AC's 15.
please. Right. Okay.
Okay,
Out
this
of-
other hound,
3 out of 4 chance and you fail.
I know.
the other hound,
Already
which is
telling me 2 would have worked.
Yeah. 2, 3, or 4 would have worked.
so funny.
No.
Attacks Nathan's character Menu with disadvantage. 14 plus 19, not 5. Is it 19?
Yep.
Disadvantage. Wow.
Disadvantage.
14 and an 18.
Oh.
Good rolling.
Okay, so 10 damage to your stamina, I suppose. Still.
Yep. Nope.
No.
Eating into your health.
I'm into my health now.
Okay, so it reaches up and slashes across where on your body? Do you want to know?
Right on my frost hand because I'm just going like
Yeah, it was
that.
reaped out.
I'm
That's
just
right. Ah! Yeah.
On your
and,
frost.
and there's this incredible fight between the frost spell, which is still coming out of your hand slightly. So I'm going to take one of these fire damage away.
Yeah.
And your hand is burnt. Oh, 6. 6 health damage.
Oh.
So it's going to leave a scar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So the dog is on
So
your
how many
hand.
days am I going to have to like?
Yeah,
Oh, I can heal you hit points. Just can't
Yeah.
heal you stamina.
that's right. Okay, good. That's that one. So both these. So you said this guy has disadvantage, right?
The frightened guy?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
frightened
so
guy
he's
has
disadvantage on ability and attacks and
he's
cannot
got-
move any closer to the source of fear, being
So
me
he's
with my orb.
yeah, cool.
So he can't go this way.
Oh, when are we gonna have a break? I just need to know. For...
Yeah, I reckon soonish.
Soonish.
Can we keep going for another 15? Is that right?
We're at
We should finish this
125.
encounter.
Yeah. So he's going to make a bravery check to still attack. So he definitely makes that, and he attacks that the town guard.
On disadvantage.
A 16, which would have probably killed him,
And a
1.
Which means...
So he gets the town guy gets an attack. Someone roll the attack of the town guy.
I'd love to. 10 plus whatever he needs to add. I don't know his stats. But I rolled a 10.
Plus 5 is not enough to hit the hobgoblin. Woo! And the other guy attacks without disadvantage.
This guy?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And hits. And they're brutal when they're working in teams.
Well, they work in a
Is
team.
he working in a team that frightened?
Oh,
I mean, it doesn't
no, I
say
guess,
it on the condition
I guess
card, but...
who isn't incapacitated. He is incapacitated.
incapacitated.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so he doesn't get the extra damage. And then he does 4. Okay, so this militiaman twists out of the way of the blow bravely.
Well done, militia man.
Yeah. This guy's going to make a dex check still to try and stand
Try
up.
and stand up.
Failing. Falls over.
Is he burning yet? Isn't that
Yeah, he's
place
on fire. Yeah, on fire, of course. He actually crawls out of the fire and dies like Anakin on the side of that lava pit.
Oh, so dead. Are we
Oh,
taking
so he's
that
going to come
one
back
off?
as Darth
Yep,
Hobgoblin.
yep.
Righty, huh?
Yeah, so he crawls out of the fire screaming, "I hate you!" and dies.
I have the advantage, Anakin. I have the high ground.
This guy stands shakily,
All right.
looks at the other hobgoblin, sort of burning to death. Looks at the wizard, the old guy who's been causing trouble for them all, and legs it for him. 1. Getting an attack of opportunity from the militia, from the town guard,
Do the
who
militia.
hits.
No, he's doing it. Knocking him prone.
Not my day.
This room is one.
We're just about 5-10 minutes behind on the stream, apparently.
2, 3. Wow, it's just falling more and more.
Look, we just
And he
Reset.
runs at the
Oh,
wizard.
wow. Okay. Interesting. What's that noise?
Cool. Do I want to turn on sticky keys? I must have landed on a key. Cool. Have I got everyone?
He
The militia.
didn't make it to me.
He didn't know.
I was expecting to have to, like...
He can't actually attack you.
Yeah.
The militiaman attacks the frightened goblin
Oh, yeah.
and kills him.
And that frees me up. I don't have to keep him
Yeah,
fighting.
you don't have to
Stab!
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Perfect timing.
This guy.
This is how this is supposed to work, but it doesn't
Yeah.
always happen that
This
way.
guy's
And
dead.
normally not with an NPC.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Too.
Oh, and hits as well.
Kill him.
No, doesn't kill him. He's he hasn't taken any damage yet. Mace man. And that brings up
Right.
Murray's character.
Marstan is going back with his. He's going to remember to do his bless.
You got to attack this hellhound, yeah.
Yeah, so he rolls a 24,
Whew, that's well and truly a hit.
and he basically quickens his blow with thunderous smite.
Whoa, that's
which
cool.
is the first time I hit him with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration. Your weapon rings with thunder that is audible within 300 feet.
That's
and the
cool.
attack deals an additional 2d6 thunder damage to my target.
Whoa, that's cool.
So it's going to be 1d8 plus 7 plus 2d6, which might be overkill, but it bit me.
Excellent.
So that is 21 damage.
21? Okay, so 9 kind of stamina, bring it down, 21 down to 12, and then, yeah, so wow, you really lay into this thing, knocking it backwards, it yelps. As so what's your actual weapon?
It's a longsword.
Yeah, so opening a massive gash on its neck as it stumbles back, screaming in hellish horror. Oh, that's rather off-putting. Fantastic, that's huge. So yeah, you've almost laid this thing low.
Wow.
Menu.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I'm on 4 health.
Yep.
like total now. So I've got to kind of like, and I'm also being grappled. No, not being grappled.
No, no, no. Well, it's great. It's got your hand in its mouth, but you can probably
Yeah,
yank
yeah.
your hand out of its mouth. Yeah.
Just trying to think about what I could do. Just trying to. What is this level? What is his level? This creature.
How vicious is it? It's
What's CR?
Battle level.
No, the reason why is because I can turn into creatures that I've seen, because I'm a druid, that are of half the CR of where I'm at.
So it's higher than that. Yeah, it looks more powerful than that.
Okay. All right. Cool. So I've got Cure Wounds. I can do that on me.
Mm-hmm.
I can take a 5-foot step back without getting attacked.
Yep, that's right. So you stumble
So that
back.
puts me.
Well, you need to move the other way. Actually, there. Yep, would be safer. Yep.
But if I go there, that means
Yeah,
I'm
go
within
there,
him.
within 5, and I can compel.
Then he can compel.
Okay,
can
but you'll
protect
get an
you.
attack of opportunity from the other Hellhound. Oh, which was almost knocked down, so that's fine. Yeah, you can do that. I won't
Yeah,
let him
cool.
attack you.
So and then I'm going to do I'll do Cure Life's Wounds on myself,
Excellent.
which is you plus your spell modifier. So I do 1d8 plus 4. So it must be my spell modifier. Yeah. So 8.
Cool. So that's going to heal any physical wounds. You can up to yep.
That's to wounds, not stamina. Yeah?
Yeah, not stamina.
Health, not stamina.
Health. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because this is gritty, right?
That's right. It's
And
slightly
it
grittier.
TPK.
I'm about to say, it makes healers 50% less effective.
Not really.
Oh, no, not really. No, no.
Really?
More valuable, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you just rest more.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Johnny.
Alright, cool.
That's fantastic.
What is this terrain here? I don't really know
Yeah,
what I'm
just
looking
yeah.
at.
So nothing. It's just the line indicates the edge of the road, which has got a bit of a gutter on it,
Grassland.
and then it's grassland. Yeah.
Yeah, we might need to have a bit of a break soon because we're like chopping and chatting.
Yep. Cool.
So like, technically we need to have a break.
Yep. Cool.
All right.
Let's kill these things.
As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Misty Step, which means I can teleport 30 feet.
Wit.
So I'm just trying to work out a good place to go within 30 feet. It'd be fun to teleport onto the roof of this building, but I don't think I can reach
But he
it,
stopped, isn't it? Yeah.
which is very sad.
If you zoom out, you could teleport onto the
I could teleport onto the
bridge.
Oh no, because that's the bridge there. And
Yeah.
30 feet.
No, not 30.
I don't know how far away the ferry is.
Yeah.
Whether
The
I could
ferry
teleport onto
stopped.
the
I said
ferry.
the ferry stopped like.
Has it stopped
50,
before
you
it's
said
reached
50.
the edge?
Yeah, I did say 50, didn't I? Now, do we need to stop because that's our stream at the moment over there?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like, let's have a break.
Yeah.
Can we have a break there?
We can.
But I haven't even decided.
No, you're gonna have to come back.
You
after
can return
the
to
break.
see which direction,
Which
Johnny.
decision will Johnny make?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, guys, we're going to be back in about 10 minutes.
Yep.
So
Yep.
all right.
Excellent. Right.
Gotcha.